Spoilers for season 2 of the anime. It's Christmas Day and Taiju has just entered the church for its yearly prayer session. When he spots both Takemichi and Hakkai talking, he gets both shocked and angry at the sight of them. Before, Hakkai starts screaming and running with the knife in his hand. But Hakkai couldn't do it in the end and ended up hanging in the grip of Taiju's hand. Taiju says that he is disappointed in him and that Hakkai has once again let him down. Takemichi screams, telling Taiju to stop it, so Taiju does just that. He drops Hakkai and goes after Takemichi instead. He tells Hakkai that his back is wide open, tempting Hakkai to attack him. Before, Taiju punches Takemichi right in the face, making him fly to the ground. Even though Taiju only used 30% of his power in that punch, he still had the power to make Takemichi unable to move. As Taiju is going to Takemichi, he asks Hakkai if he isn't going to save his friend and that he will die if he don't do anything. Taiju asks Takemichi if he knows why Hakkai wants to kill him, and Takemichi says this because Taiju has been abusing Yuzuha. But that's when Taiju starts laughing and asks Hakkai if he should reveal his secret. Taiju says that Hakkai isn't like you think he is, and he's about to reveal Hakkai's secret when Yuzuha comes from behind, stabbing Taiju with a knife. Taiju gets mad as he turns around and slaps Yuzuha, making her fall to the ground. Hakkai asks why Yuzuha is here, and she tells him that she came to save him. Hakkai starts to accuse Takemichi and says that he told her, but Yuzuha tells him that he is wrong and it was Kisaki who told her everything. Taiju takes off his cape and sees that the wound that Yuzuha inflicted is shallow, thanks to Takemichi who managed to reveal where Yuzuha were with his scream. After that, Taiju tries to gaslight them and telling them that they are in the wrong. When Yuzuha questions his morals, Taiju punches her right in the face. Taiju starts crying and asks why he must murder his beloved little sister. But that's when Yuzuha charges against Taiju, but gets once again thrown to the side. Takemichi screams for him to stop and steps in the way when he was headed to Yuzuha. Takemichi tries to reason with him, but it all ends with Takemichi taking another hit to the face. Taiju grabs a bench and throws it at Takemichi, but luckily he was able to escape it. Takemichi screams and asks why siblings have to kill each other. Yuzuha tells him that this is the path that they have chosen. Takemichi knows that Yuzuha is the key to all of this, and to stop Hakkai from being corrupt, he has to take down Taiju by himself. Yuzuha tells Takemichi to get out of her way, while she picks up the knife. Yuzuha can barely stand, but she is still determined to save Hakkai from Taiju. But that's when Mitsuya comes, telling her that a knife isn't something used to protect others. Yuzuha asks him why he is here before falling into his arms. Mitsuya asks Takemichi to watch Yuzuha while he takes on the challenge of beating up Taiju. Both Mitsuya and Taiju is going head on and trading blows with each other. Takemichi still wonders about how Mitsuya managed to arrive, but that's when Shifuya comes from behind, telling Takemichi that Kisai and Hama betrayed them. She also tells him that he called Mitsuya, who came to save him. Back to the fight, we see Mitsuya being on his knees. Taiju asks him what's wrong, before telling him that he's only using 70% of all his powers. But Mitsuya gets back up and jumps right back into the fight. Hakkai screams, asking him what he's doing, and tells him to stop. But Shifuya tells him to quiet down and let him fight. Shifuya tells Hakkai that he's only standing there fighting for his sake. Both Takemichi and Shifuya assures him that there's no way that Mitsuya will lose. But just then, Inu comes from behind Mitsuya, hitting him in the head with a pipe, making him fall to the ground. Everyone is shocked at Mitsuya's defeat when Koko comes forward, asking them if his info was worth the money. Takemichi and Shifuya becomes furious and tells them that they are going down. Takemichi and Shifuya charges at the Black Dragons when they suddenly stop and hears a voice telling them to wait. It's Mitsuya who managed to get back up while wiggling a bit. Mitsuya tells them to listen as he explains the situation. He tells them that it looks pretty much hopeless, with both Mitsuya and Shifuya being beat up and Takemichi being the only one in fighting shape. But he also tells them that they can't lose this fight for Yuzuha's sake. But that's when Takemichi assures him that it's fine, as Mikey and the others will come to help. However, when Mitsuya asks Takemichi if he called Mikey, he tells them that he thought that he did. But he tells them that he went by himself and that's the only three of them who can protect Yuzuha. This makes Takemichi's fighting spirits go right off his body, as he now says that they are dead. Shifuya tells him to get it together and that they don't have another choice. After that, Mitsuya tells them that as long as they keep Inu and Koko busy, he can take down Taiju. But everyone, including him, knows that he has no chance, so he asks Hakkai for help. Before he can give an answer, Takemichi screams and starts rushing against them, which leaves Taiju with Mitsuya and Hakkai. But as Mitsuya charges against Taiju, Taiju starts laughing, and when Mitsuya turns around, he sees Hakkai refusing to fight. And with Mitsuya's back against Taiju, he gets punched right from the side. Shifuya also falls down from his fight with Inu. After that, Hakkai takes up the knife and starts going for Taiju. A bit late if you ask me, but that's when Takemichi gets in his way and straight up headbutts him. He tells Hakkai that using a knife will only destroy his life, and tells him to sit back and look at what it means to fight back. Taiju asks Takemichi if he haven't learned his lesson yet, and after that, Takemichi repeats the question and says one of the coldest lines of the whole series, as he runs and takes a clear punch from Taiju. Takemichi keeps taking more punches and more punches, but even then, when he can barely move, he says that he isn't gonna lose. Hakkai and Shifuya tells him to stop, but Takemichi would never stop in this position, as he tells Taiju that he is going to defeat him and take control of the Black Dragons. Takemichi keeps taking hits on hits, but he still gets up every time. Takemichi says that before he had nothing, no friends to open up to, nobody to love, and that he was all alone. But little by little and bit by bit, everyone started to accept Takemichi for who he was. Shifuya screams at him, telling him to stop and that he will die if he continues. But just then, for the first time, he is able to trade punches with Taiju. Takemichi flew backwards from Taiju's punch, but Taiju also took some damage as he is now on his knees. Takemichi gets up with a munched up face. Hakkai tells him to stop, but Takemichi tells him that fighting on isn't painful and what hurts the most is loneliness. After that, he falls to the floor, crying his eyes out and asks him to help him. Takemichi tells Hakkai that he will protect Yuzuha, but that's when Hakkai reveals the truth. He tells Takemichi that he is in the wrong. He says that his face doesn't have a single bruise, while Yuzuha's body is beaten up and bloody. Hakkai hasn't been the one to protect Yuzuha from Taiju. No, it was always Yuzuha who protected Hakkai. Everything Hakkai told has been a lie. Everyone tells Hakkai how shitty he has been for lying for this entire time, but they also tell him that they suck too. As they stand up, they tell him that they are family and that they won't leave him over a lie like that. Hakkai starts to scream as he removes his robe and tells them to stand back. He says that he is no longer afraid as he walks over to Taiju. Shifuya and Takemichi says that Hakkai has changed and that the future will also change with him. After that, Taiju punches Hakkai down to the ground and asks why he can't avoid killing his family members. Taiju looks over at the others as he tells them that they will also die in his shirts, as he has 100 of his most powerful men outside. Every Toman member rushes at Taiju to beat him down, but in the end it won't matter because they're all beaten up and fighting against a monster. But just then they hear the sound of a motorcycle coming their way, and it's not any motorcycle, no, it's Mikey's. Mikey enters the church with a smile on his face, asking them what they are doing on such a day as this one. Taiju goes forward to Mikey and completely smashes him into the ground, which shocks everyone. Luckily, Mikey gets up and uses one kick to completely obliterate Taiju onto the ground. And when Taiju gets up, he calls for his army, but that's when he sees that Draken has managed to take them all down, making Black Dragon lose the fight. And that's how Takemichi saved Christmas. And I know what you're gonna say, Takemichi wasn't the one to give the final blow to Taiju. And yes, that's true, but I think that he was the real MVP that night, as Mitsuya also stated. But please tell me what you thought about this fight down in the comments. And if you like Tokyo Revengers and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you to subscribe to the channel, and while you're down there also leave a like and a comment as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day, bye.